Hey everyone, it's Rob Foglia and Jessica Klein with Foglia Properties here in Nashville, and we're coming to you today because we've had a few recent sellers or homeowners come to us with a concern about basically, hey, if I sell my house, can I find a home? Like, we keep hearing about how there's low inventory out there, meaning not a lot of homes for sale. And while that makes it a great time to sell, like, can I buy something? So we wanted to just kind of help I guess maybe solve it on the front end. Solve that problem before it even becomes a problem. Let you know what we're doing to help get you taken care of, and just chat about it here for a couple of minutes. You ready to jump in, Jessica?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are so many solutions for this, and it can seem kind of scary without being in the real estate world every day. So I think this is a great topic, and just to help people understand that it's not, we're not going to leave you homeless. Like, you'll be just fine.
Well, exactly. I love that you said that because you're right. That's probably the biggest concern people have. They're like, "Well, my home is it's my roof over my head. Like, what's going to happen here? I don't want to be homeless." And so, basically, the reason why we're bringing it up like this is because there are really two steps when you're making a move. You're selling a house and you're buying a house, and they go in that order. You don't want to look to buy the home before you sell your current house, because ultimately, what happens when you do that, it makes you kind of a weaker buyer because you're a contingent buyer, contingent on the sale of your home, if you have to do that, of course. And it makes you really a more, I don't want to say desperate, but you become an extremely motivated seller, because at that point you're just ready to make it happen and get out from having two homes. And so, there really are three things that we can do that I've identified that have it make sense, I think, as a seller who will be buying as well. The first two are really pretty straightforward. They're just kind of logistical items. The first one, longer closing dates. I mean, like, in fact, Jessica, I was talking with somebody earlier, and when I threw out a number in terms of a closing date timeline, they were surprised that I was thinking more than what? Like, what's the typical number that we tend to talk about?
30 days. I mean, I would say most people think, the standard would be 30 days to close. And that's just because of loan timelines and conventional loans.
That's what we've seen for years, really, is that most great lenders can get a typical loan. Obviously, there might be some random loans or different loans that are out there that could take a little bit longer, but most great local lenders can knock out a loan in 30 days.
Mhm.
And we've actually been seeing a trend recently with some of these closing dates having to be longer. In fact, I think five out of our last six, or no, I think it was six out of our last seven after the closing we had yesterday. Some on the buy side, some on the listing side, have gotten delayed a little bit because lenders are backed up. They're very in demand with how low rates are.
Right,
And
exactly. Yeah.
and so a buyer should not be concerned if we have to propose a longer closing date to get you taken care of as a seller. So meaning, don't think that if we accepted an offer today on your home that you're selling it in 30 days and have to be out. There might be a way to make that a 60-day closing to give us time to find the next home and still get you closed on. Does that make sense?
Exactly. And I mean, you just mentioned 60-day close. That's not what we would consider an unusual timeline. I mean, we even had one recently that was a 60-day close. And as long as people know about that timeline up front, which obviously they would, very few people would hesitate about that.
Most definitely. The second thing that there's potential for anyway, and that's to rent back the home from the buyer. So meaning maybe you're needing your proceeds from your sale to buy your next property. Maybe it's your down payment, and you might need there's a, again, that logistical way of doing it. There's the steps, the logical way of having to sell first and then buy. Well, maybe if there's a concern that, hey, we're going to close in 45 days or 60 days and we don't have that home yet, there might be the possibility to rent the home back from the buyer, as long as we, again, like Jessica said a second ago, we tell the buyers that up front so that it's not sprung on them at the last minute, because they've got to get their lives in order too. But that way, there might be the like, if we were selling somebody's home today and say we were closing on December 1st, well, maybe they're not moving out till the 15th, and there's 2 weeks, there's an additional 2 weeks in there. I mean, there's a lot that can be done, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And in the end, all of these strategies come down to good communication, and that's something that we hold, you know, almost head and shoulders above everything else in the business. And for our clients, is good communication, because that can solve 90% of problems.
Absolutely. And then the third thing that can be done to help a seller navigate kind of a local move when we are in a limited inventory market, and that's what we're calling kind of like the coming soon stage. So our system, our MLS, the system that we use as real estate agents to list homes, we have the ability to put a home in there as a coming soon property. And the reason I'm bringing this up is that if we're having to write an offer for a client, and that's what we call contingent on the sale of their home, no seller is going to take that offer if the home's at least not on the market. Definitely not if it's not on the market. They might not even take it if the home's not under contract, and yet they're absolutely not going to take it if it's just well, we're going to hit the market at some point here in the near future, because the
Right.
seller doesn't need to. There's such limited inventory, there'll be another buyer that comes along. And so by basically listing the home and having us put it in coming soon status, it would allow you as a seller to be able to make sure that we're able to check that box when we're writing an offer that says, hey, the home is listed, it's just not active yet. You're not having to go through showings and until we're ready to do that. And yet, it kind of it. Am I explaining it right, Jessica? I want to make sure that it's coming across the right way here.
Yeah, I mean, essentially what we're saying is, we go through all of the preparation stages. So the photographs are done and we have, the property up so that all the agents in the area can see it. And then you go out and look for houses with Rob. And as soon as you find something that you really like, then we can go to that seller of the home that you're wanting to purchase and say, hey, like, we have this house on the market, it's been there, and as soon as we get this offer accepted, we'll flip the switch and start showings. And in a market like this, it's like we're in a better position doing it because it's so, like, I mean, homes aren't lasting very long.
Well, exactly. And so, I mean, as long as we're priced correctly and, with the marketing that we do, it'll allow us to find that buyer almost immediately. So that's why that type of scenario works better than if the home's not even on the market and not ready to go at all.
Right.
And so, 'cause it allows like Jessica said, a potential seller or that listing agent on that home that a buyer is looking to buy, it allows them to see the property, at least see the condition through pictures, things like that. And on top of that, we do our 3D tours, the 3D walkthroughs, not just a slideshow that people call a tour, but no, the actual where you can. It's almost like virtual reality, where you can stand inside the home and walk through the home and see the layout and see the floor plan.
Mhm.
Like we might even be able to attract a buyer in that coming soon status. I mean,
Mhm.
that does happen where agents reach out to other agents about it because they have a buyer looking. So just throwing that out there, and I hope this makes sense. I mean, there's three things that we can do to help a seller navigate that the market that we're in, this kind of somewhat difficult market and low inventory, so that you can take advantage of that low inventory, sell your property at top market price, and still be able to buy a home, so that, as Jessica said at the beginning, you're not homeless. We're not leaving you homeless, and you've got a place to go to. And so, do we have any comments on the Facebook feed or anything right now, the live feed?
We do not. If people do, want to add something later, we're more than happy to answer questions. If you'd like a one-on-one consult, you can always go to our website at foliaproperties.kw.com/schedule, or you can reach out in any of the normal ways. We have email, we have phone, and yeah, we're just happy to help however we can.
Absolutely, because I mean, it's not just a sales line or a sales pitch about that. Now is a phenomenal time to sell a home. It really is. I mean, I can't think of the last listing that we've taken that's taken more than a couple of days or a week to go under contract, and
Yep.
we're seeing it on the buy side as well, of just limited inventory and trying to find solutions for our buyers. And so it's a great time to take advantage of the market as a seller, and we can help you navigate that as a buyer and find the solution as a buyer. So if you need anything, like Jessica said, reach out to us. We're here to help. Let's have that one-on-one consultation. And like I said, if you need anything, give us a shout.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, y'all. Bye.